Welcome, everyone. My name's David. I'm on the ecosystem team here at Chainlink. We are joined today by another fantastic panel of guests who are each building unique DeFi projects that are using the new building blocks of DeFi in new and interesting ways. With me here, we have Yanwen Feng, who's the co-founder of Perpetual Protocol, James Chu, who's the CTO of Platon, Young-Il Kim, who does business planning at Pay Protocol, and Nick Ravenbach, who is the co-founder of Base Protocol. So let's dive right in into how each of you is utilizing some of the building blocks of DeFi. I want to start first with the idea of composability. So please talk a bit about how your project takes advantage of composability and how Chainlink plays a role in your underlying architecture. And we can start with Yanwen Feng. Do you want to jump in?
Sure, of course. I'm Yanwen, so I'm the co-founder of Perpetual Protocol. So Perpetual Protocol is on-chain perpetual swap protocol that we provide a decentralized perpetual swap on Sky. So for us, because we're on Sky, so it's a little bit hard to compose with others, but we do use a lot of other protocols like Chainlink. So Chainlink is one of our basic pi fee. So we get the Chainlink pi fee as our index price to calculate the funding rate. So that's very important to us. There are also other projects that built on top of us. Even if we are on a Sky, but there are a lot of cross chain bridge that you can utilize. So projects like Lemma Finance, they build on top of us. They provide this basic trading protocol that you can kind of have a piece of asset from spot market, and also you short that on our platform, and then you can kind of earn the funding rate through that. So I think that's how we try to be more composable. And we are actually working on a V2. So the V2 of Perpetual Protocol will be on Arbitrum. And I believe that there will be a lot of new opportunities for us to compose with others. We are actually talking to lots of other projects. like Charm, like others, they can either build on top of us, or we can use some of their components. So yeah, really looking forward to to kind of moving on a new layer to Arbitrum and or Optimism and compose with others. Yeah.
Great, thanks so much, and that's really exciting news about Arbitrum there. Looking forward to that. James, how you use composability?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. James from Platon. So regarding the composability, because Platon is quite unique on this, it's not a pure kind of blockchain technology-driven stuff. On top of it, we are focusing on privacy and focusing on AI. So at the end, we will form a distributed privacy AI network. So protected data, protected AI model, protected computing power, all kind of working together with each other. So regarding Chainlink, because the financial data is the most simple, straightforward one, and that's also why the blockchain is quite successful on this field. So Platon will also start with digging and working with this DeFi and financial related stuff. We will announce the cooperation with Chainlink last year when the sandbox called Alaya went live on October 24. It stands for 10241K, easy to remember. By that time, I was kind of try to express my expectation to Chainlink as the data provider, as a market data provider. There are real-time market data, historical market data, evaluation model, etc., etc. All this kind of stuff could be privacy protected and could be a data asset on Platon, and there will be the we so-called privacy economy. So based on this privacy protected algorithm, then there will be a new type of how to cooperate with each other, how to settle with each other. So Platon has this kind of 3-layer. The fundamental one is blockchain with the automated settlement clearing, trustless, with the native, like a fundamental privacy supported. And then there will be another layer, the DAO style of privacy economy. And then there will be the privacy AI network. Recently we could call it AI brain or artificial general AI, etc. So it's a very important first step to work close with Chainlink on the data as a data provider side. And there's a long way to go. I hope we can cooperate more in the long run, can empower the existing DeFi, this composability of DeFi, etc., to empower it with privacy preserving capability. And then there's a lot of like the how to say, I could explain later on, like the mana can front run for something, right? So we could still have your business down there, have a verifiable result there. So the data are real and it in it, but the mana cannot see it. Then it will theoretically proven the front run from the data provider side as well. There are a bunch of like thread we could work together. Yeah, thank you, David.
Thanks so much, James. That's super interesting. And Nick, you're building something incredibly exciting over there that's pulling together a lot of different things. Do you want to talk a bit about your project and how you think about composability as well?
Yeah, so I'm here representing Base Protocol. For those who aren't familiar, it's a synthetic asset whose price is pegged to the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies. So if the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies is, $1.5 trillion, the price of Base is pegged at $1.50. If it's 1 trillion, Base is $1. If it's 500 billion, Base is 50 cents. So the Base price tracks the overall cryptocurrency market cap. And it does so through a process called rebasing. I'll kind of get into that in a second, but on the question of composability, when you aim to create a token whose price tracks the overall cryptocurrency market cap, you're going to ask yourself the question, where are you deriving that data from? Who's saying what the total crypto market cap is? Because that number is going to vary widely from different sources. And so for this project ever to exist, we knew that we needed like resilient, reliable oracles. And so from the beginning, we've really always been sold on Chainlink as kind of the leading provider for oracles in the ecosystem. And so long before we formally engaged with Chainlink, we were really consuming a lot of the Chainlink documentation and YouTube tutorials, and we actually set up a Chainlink node of our own just to kind of work with it and use as sort of a proof of concept. And I think that's really where composability came into play here, because we were kind of able to use that as a building block, and then we more formally reached out to Chainlink and went mainnet with you guys in that respect. And it was really great that we were able to build that proof of concept before, again, formally engaging and then having those things work, I guess, formally. So that's one way that we've been, kind of taking advantage of composability is obviously our integration with Chainlink. And on one side, that's for oracles. And then on a new side now, we've really been able to take advantage of composability by integrating the Chainlink Keeper network. So, the way that Base works is through these supply adjustments that then affect price to create that price peg to the total crypto market cap. To execute that rebase, there's a daily transaction that has to happen. And historically, up until recently, we've had a developer sitting there every day at 4 p.m. CST, clicking the rebase transaction function every single day He's just got to be awake, and that's what he's got to do. And we never knew that there was going to be a solution to this or when that solution would come. But then we saw that, Chainlink was working on the Keeper stuff, and we reached out, and now those rebase transactions are completely automated. And that it was a great feature that we were able to, again, introduce without anticipating that it would ever be a solution. But as it emerged, we were able to really bring it in, and it's an awesome attribute of composability in cryptocurrency that we were able to do that. So two of my favorite examples of composability are the work that we've done with Chainlink on the Oracle side and on the Keeper side.
Thanks so much, Nick, and I'm glad we were able to save your engineer a little bit of sleep over there. So now let's jump right over to Pay Protocol. Young-il, why don't you describe a little bit about what your team is building over there?
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 페이코인 팀의 김영일입니다. 제가 영어로 말하는 게 조금 부족해서 저희 팀의 앤디가 통역을 해줄 예정입니다. 양해 부탁드리겠습니다.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Young-il from the Paycoin team. Because my English is not fluent, Andy beside me will be translating what I say for me.
저희 페이코인 서비스는 지금 현재 한국에서 약 200만 명의 사용자를 대상으로 가상자산을 활용한 결제 서비스를 제공하고 있습니다. 현재 세븐일레븐과 도미노 피자와 같은 메이저 프랜차이즈에서 가상자산을 활용한 결제 서비스가 가능합니다. 페이코인 팀은 이러한 사용자를 대상으로 다양한 디파이 서비스를 가상자산에 대한 지식이 없는 사용자도 쉽게 이용할 수 있는 것에 집중하고 있습니다. 이를 위해 페이 프로토콜 네트워크는 다양한 블록체인 네트워크와의 연결을 지원을 해야 할 뿐만 아니라 시시각각 달라지고 있는 각 블록체인들의 트랜잭션을 처리하고 있는 그런 현황들과 디파이 서비스들의 스테이터스를 빠르고 정확하게 분석하고 처리해야 하며 이것들을 기반으로 사용자에게 편리한 UX로 전달해야 합니다.
Yeah, so what Paycoin is currently doing is that we provide a payment service that is based on virtual assets, crypto assets. We have a 2 million user base, and we have partnership with franchises like 7-Elevens and Domino's Pizza. One of our service that we'll be providing is DeFi. Our goal is to make DeFi easy even to those who doesn't really know about crypto assets. We will be integrating various blockchain networks into our Paycoin network, which means that we will need to constantly check each blockchain's network status, transaction status, and so on. And in order for us to deliver a friendly, user-friendly UX.
이러한 데이터들을 처리하는 데 있어 각 네트워크를 페이 프로토콜이 직접 확인하고 처리하는 것은 개발의 효율과 서비스 제공 모든 측면에서 모두 비효율적입니다. 이러한 측면에서 체인링크의 프라이스 피드와 CCIP는 매우 효율적인 솔루션으로 저희는 생각을 하고 있고 페이코인 팀은 사용자의 자산 평가와 타 가상자산과의 전환의 영역에서 프라이스 피드를 적극적으로 활용하고자 서비스를 설계하고 있습니다. 그리고 다른 블록체인과의 연결 부분에서는 CCIP를 적극적으로 활용할 계획을 가지고 있습니다.
So it will be very inefficient for us to check and process all these data by ourselves. In this respect, Chainlink's price feed and CCIP are considered a very efficient solution for us. We plan to leverage Chainlink's price feed for the conversion rate between different assets and evaluating our users' asset value. And we plan to leverage CCIP in connecting with other blockchains. That's it, Dave.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and for diving into that. I think it would be super interesting for everyone to hear a little bit more about the infrastructural challenges that everyone has building on this new frontier of DeFi and how these building blocks are being incorporated. So I want to go to Yanwen again. Can you talk a bit about just some of these infrastructural challenges that we're facing and how we can overcome some of these from a technical implementation standpoint to really extend perpetual protocols capabilities? And I'll ask the same thing to the other panelists as well.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. So for perpetual protocol, I think we have been actually launched like over 8 months right now. So we do have a lot of transaction, happening on the protocol. We have been processing like over 20 billion, for the total trading volume. So there are, we do have lots of, volume on Sky. But at the same time, I think the first thing that we are not there yet is the bandwidth. So I think at some point of time, we still take probably 30 to 40% of the bandwidth on Sky. So which is a really high number. Sky have been like doing a really good job. They don't really have, any kind of outage. During the last, I think a year, which is amazing. I think because they have us, they have like, the Dark Forest, like the game on them on Sky, which is working really well. So, but to be honest, I think that we still need another like scaling solution, even if we are based on Sky. So, I'm really looking forward to, the new technology like rollups, ZK rollups or Mystic rollups. So I do believe that although bandwidth is still the biggest concern that in everyone's mind, but it should be able to, personally, I really think that it should be able to solve like maybe in a few months, I think. Yeah. So that's definitely the first thing, like bandwidth. The second thing definitely is the UX. So because we are doing this like perpetual contract, like a new like financial instrument. So we, there are lots of people who are on centralized exchange. They want to, come to like us, to try to, try out this new DeFi, protocol, but it's really hard for them. The first thing is that they have to install like a common extension, and then this extension actually holds all their funds. I think that it will be like impossible for them to really like believe in this common extension. So I think the UX, I'm not really like saying that. Makeup Mass is doing something wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we need more options. We need more ways for people to trust. Especially like when they just kind of like first come into this DeFi world, we just need to have a better way for them to understand the whole architecture. How you should able. What's the options that you can do to keep your funds safe. Lots of like this kind of concern. So definitely, I think that's that part that we already have a lot of progress, but still like need more. The last thing is that I would say is that compare. So for us, we are a DAX. So we have been like compared to like a centralized exchange a lot. But to be honest, like feature wise, I think we are far behind them. Especially, for like for a more complex like derivative like perpetual protocol. So that's actually our responsibility to do a better job. I think. At the same time, I think actually Chainlink help us a lot. Chainlink. It's there is. The thing we can do is to just to a certain degree, there are lots of infrastructure things that have to be there. At first, but I think Chainlink has this pi fee. They are actually pushing out a new thing that kind of like index or like registry for price fee. So so people who want to launch a market can check if the price fee there, and then we can kind of like do this like automatically. I think that without any like manual process. So I think that's really cool. So definitely we need more infrastructure. Built by Chainlink or others, and then we can have the features that on centralized exchange that we can implement. Yeah. So yeah, I would just stop here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tianwen. It's very interesting to hear how one project can take up so much bandwidth still on one network. So very good to hear. James, we'll jump to you.
Thank you. So Platon is a kind of open source, try to build up an infrastructure for starting with DeFi and then eventually get the AI brain or a data market, etc. So we are more focusing on the very fundamental stuff. So this famous FLP trilemma or this CAP trilemma, right? All this kind of apply to this We call it trustless computing. I think back in 2018, when we raised this concept, privacy-preserving, trustless computing, etc., we are kind of feeling alone. Not many people, echo what we are doing, and now there are so many people doing, and I'm very happy. So it looks like it's a right approach. But we do facing a huge challenge on the infrastructure side. For example, blockchain natively is immutable. All the data once added, you cannot remove it, etc. It will carry over like a train. If you add one kind of a box, it will adding forever, right? So how to draw a line, put what kind of thing off chain and what kind of thing on chain, but those things still can be trustless. This will require pretty good privacy-preserving technology, we call it must be verifiable computation. So like ZK Snarks, right? It's very successful right now, ZK rollups, etc. It will resolve certain this scalability issue. So what we could do is to provide pretty good research and come up with a very good engineered, time efficient, very good algorithms. So we could protect or compact, make those transactions, etc., in a package, and then you could quickly verify by your nodes on chain. That will provide a very good trust and fast infrastructure. So this is the kind of fundamental. Also, another one we are challenging is everything DeFi is very smooth, very good, right? All transparent. But if you really add this privacy preserving stuff, like the privacy DEX related stuff, it will become slow. So that will against the user experience. So how to make a trade-off on this? For example, I do not disclose everything I'm trading. If I trade a huge amount, I want to buy something or sell something with a huge amount, I may got front run by Mana or by others. There's a flash loan, like a lot of things may happen, right? I really want to hide a certain information away from the audience or from the blockchain. Only when my trade got executed, then I disclose. By that time, nobody could front run. So these kind of, in the real traditional industry, actually we spend lots of like a cost, high cost. You see the bankers, high salary, intensive regulation, third party or government office focus on auditing, etc. So there are super high cost on this one, but DeFi with privacy preserving computation could resolve this one.
Thanks so much, James.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll jump to, we are running short on time here, so we'll jump to Nick and Young-il for some final comments here.
Yeah, real quick, I'll just say for base protocol in terms of infrastructure challenges, just being a rebasing token with a dynamic elastic supply, there are a lot of challenges with integrating with different platforms. Uniswap v3 is currently not supporting rebase tokens, but optimistically Ampleforth has now just been approved for lending on Aave, so that's really great. So I'd like to see more things addressed for elastic supply tokens. And in a more general sense, I would like to see a better UI for, cross-chain token bridges. I think that'll be really important in DeFi.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. And Young-il, closing thoughts from your side.
네, 현재 다양한 블록체인 네트워크들이 DeFi를 출시를 하고 있고 NFT와 같은 다른 디지털 자산들도 DeFi에 활용되고 있습니다. 이러한 DeFi들은 다양한 방식으로 롤업이나 그 밖에 다른 방식으로 이제 여러 가지 랩핑 같은 방식으로 서로 다른 네트워크로 가치를 전송하고 있습니다. 근데 아직까지는 각 네트워크들의 호환성과 네트워크 속도 차이 등의 이슈로 인해서 자산 전송 과정에서 발생하는 리스크를 사용자가 완전하게 해칭할 수 있는 방법이 없습니다. 이러한 관점에서 과거에도 다양하게 연구되었고 앞으로도 더욱 크로스체인 솔루션에 대한 수요가 저희는 좀 증가할 거라고 생각을 하고 있고 페이코인 역시도 크로스체인 솔루션에 대한 연구를 계속해서 진행을 하고 있는 상태입니다. 크로스체인 기술이 발전을 하면서 이러한 리스크에 대한 해칭이 좀 쉬워지고 가능해진다라고 하면 더욱 다양한 형태의 자산들이 디파이에 활용될 수 있을 것으로 저희는 기대를 하고 있고, 이것들을 통해서 페이코인 서비스가 제공하는 디지털 자산의 범위 역시도 좀 더 많이 넓어질 수 있을 것 같습니다.
So yeah, quickly wrapping it up, there's a lot of DeFi being released on various blockchain networks, and digital assets such as NFTs are being used for DeFi. We believe that in this regard, so currently the challenges are the compatibility between each networks still is an issue, and there's a risk associated with transferring assets between the networks. So we believe that in the future there will be more demands for cross-chain solutions, and we're currently looking into how to solve this kind of issues, the Paycoin team, and once we do have solutions to hedge these risks, we expect that we will be able to cover more digital assets in our services. And yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And as you can see, we really could have gone for an hour or two here. We just scratched the surface of what is possible. And so we'll be glad to have everyone back here. So thank you so much for joining us, to all the panelists for making the time. And we'll hand it back to you, Andy.
Thank you so much to all the panelists. Sometimes it's great to hear people's visions kind of come together, and the conversation that emerges very valuable, not just for the audience, but hopefully for the presenters as well. So thank you all very much for your time.